Politics, according to the late chairman Mao Zedong of China, is war without bloodshed. Yes, but we are also told that all is fair in war, as indeed in politics. The media arm of the Labour Party has reacted to the rumored quitting of its presidential flag bearer, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi. As far as the party is concerned, the news is fake. The Obi-Datti Media Office says the fake news is provoked by unnamed rival political parties who cloned Obi's image on gift items. Did you get that? Peter Obi is in the race to win and therefore cannot quit, now that the British finish line is in sight. Anything is possible in politics, Emeka. Anything is possible.
But politics should also be played with some form of, with a large dose of decency. I mean, people should not go all out to tell lies, to spread falsehood, and to twist clear narratives, because politics. Because you find a lot of things that have been said that are actually damaging, defamatory, damaging to people's, to people. But we just say, oh, it's all politics. I mean, I think we don't need to infuse our politics with falsehood like this, outright falsehood. Peter Obi was in Katsina the other day. He has been going, he has been steady on the campaign trail, going from state to state, even visiting some states twice. Now, when some people just in their wild imagination claim that he's quitting the race, on what basis? Is he sick? Or has he been disqualified by INEC? Or has he been disqualified by a court? Because you look at the Electoral Act, it says that for a party to replace its candidate, that candidate must, in writing, state that he or she is quitting. Unless the person is disqualified by a court.
Emeka, but does it not scandalize you that that story would have come from a source?
You see, in today's world, where the highly respected Reku expressed serious concern about the damage that bloggers are doing to journalism, to real journalism, to respectable journalism. Of course, you can expect anything because the traditional media has now found itself, unwittingly found itself, racing against time, with competitors who are just largely untrained, who are just stragglers, people who jumped into the media because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And so you find many bloggers who are purveyors of fake news, of falsehood. Definitely such news will not come from any respectable medium, even though I know that there are some portions of the traditional media that have lent themselves to spreading fake news. Why not just report the news and leave people to make up their minds about the
and so the traditional way of cross-checking facts are no longer there.
You even find journalists, not just bloggers, journalists quoting things that are outright, for instance, a commissioner in Kano State said one local government, the vote for one local government, and cover the entire Southeast. And journalists reported it. Whereas the figure of eligible voters is available, it's in the public domain. Yeah. And then some other such embarrassing gaps. Why?
All right, Emeka, you are 1/10 as embarrassed as BC is. BC, a former American president said politics is the second oldest profession on the planet, but that it bears a semblance to the oldest.
Wow.
You understand the logic?
Actually, Obi won't be the first person to be alleged to have quit the presidential race, really. Kwakwaso was also alleged to have quit at a time, and he said he did not quit, you know. So I think in this part of the world, the way we play our politics is different from probably other places. And maybe because it's still working for us, that's why people still continue to do what they are doing.
Yeah.
Because if it's not working, then definitely we will have changed the system. So I think the reasonable thing to be done is what the Obi team has done by restating the obvious fact that he's still in the race. In any case, saying somebody is no longer in the race when that information is not coming from the person himself, I don't expect anybody to take that seriously.
At that point, what should an editor do?
Well, I don't think any editor worth its salt will have reported that Obi-Datti quit presidential race without a confirmation from an authoritative source. So the fact that this is reported does not mean that it is true. And I don't even know how many people thought it was true in the first instance. For example, I even read politicians themselves from the opposition parties, you know, making fun of it and tweeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, prominent personalities.
But again, basically, saying that the man is turning things over to Atiku would have given vent to the story.
Well, you see, you know, here we do a lot of imaginative journalism and reportage. You weave things together,
yeah,
and you now reach a conclusion. And it all depends on where that story is even coming from. Because people imagine what they want to say, and they also weave stories around what they want to see.
Yeah.
Even today, this judgment on Osun election, there were two versions of the story.
We'll get there.
So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, people report things based on what they want and how they want things to be seen.
Emeka, you know, one is not trying to be cynical here. You know, we knew along the line, one crank said, in news stories like a lady's skirt, short enough to attract attention, but long enough to cover the subject.
Yes, but it's covering the subject. It's not unveiling the subject. So if that's what the news story is, why is it that it is not long enough? Why do people have to resort to fake news, which is not long enough to cover the subject? Then they are engaging in something else. As a matter of fact, Peter Obi has said it again and again that he defers to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the PDP presidential candidate, as an elder brother. It's only natural. Anybody can defer to anybody. But that doesn't mean that, okay, because he has followed up by saying, yes, though I defer to Atiku as an elder brother, but I am in the race to win. So it's a matter of him staying in the race. And he is Peter Obi of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. As far as I know, is still in the presidential race and has not quit the presidential race for the February 25, 2023 presidential election. Anybody reporting such maybe needs to see a doctor or just having some nightmare. Yes.
Yeah. BC, but ours is a country of conspiracy theorists, and they say these theories will come for a purpose.
Well, I already told you that you say things based on what you are thinking. You know, I told you that we manipulate things and we imagine things, but everything has a source. Even the conspiracy theory you are talking about has a source. It all depends on what you want to achieve,
yes,
the goal that you have. We all know that Peter Obi and PDP, they were together. For crying out loud, Peter Obi was Atiku's VP candidate in 2019. So a lot of people still believe that PDP and Labour Party, they are like a brother and sister in quotes because of the candidates now. But the people supporting both parties, there is a clear differentiation because we are looking at the youth populace and we are looking at other people. So we know that in terms of support, they are different. But in terms of candidates, you cannot really remove Obi and Atiku because they've been together. So it is possible for people to say that, well, they were together. Now they can still come back together. But we all know that Peter Obi has not told us that he's quitting. And there should be no reason for anyone to believe that he's quitting until he comes out to tell us that he's no longer in the race.
And the fake journalist, if you like, or yellow journalist, Emeka should give us a long break.
I mean, but Nigerians should also be discerning. There are some apps that actually spread fake news. They twist things, and I think people should be discerning enough. If you say, okay, for the sake of argument, that Obi and Atiku were together, what about Atiku and Tinubu in 2007?
Okay.
Atiku was the presidential candidate now of AC in 2007. So for how long will we keep spinning?
We are told that in politics, there's no permanent friendship.
No it's all about interest, yes.
So, interest is permanent.
Simple.
So the correct story is Mr. Peter Gregory Obi is still in the running for the presidency.